Hey guys, welcome to today's video. We have a lot to go over, but before we get into it, I want you to watch the following short clip from Paternity Court that's absolutely stunning and shocking. Take a look.
You are not the father.
And that's for the best. Honestly, it's for the best because he has only stayed this long so that he could get whatever benefit he's getting out of it.
Benefit?
But honestly,
What
Your
benefit
Honor,
am I getting?
Wait.
Taking care of a 3-year-old child.
I am disgusted that you would perpetrate this lie on this man during your entire pregnancy up through a delivery room, let him cut the cord on a baby. I know you know good and well that wasn't his child. I can tell by the look on your face today. He was more nervous than you were.
In 2025, DNA testing is as easy as a cheek swab or a saliva sample. There's absolutely no reason for courts to not subject parents to DNA testing these days if there's any doubt about whether a parent is the actual biological parent of a child. In fact, I'm starting to believe that it's probably better to do a paternity test as soon as a child is born. It should almost be mandatory at this point. President Reagan once said, "Trust but verify." I'm not somebody who likes living by the standard of trust but verify. I feel like it presupposes a mistrust of everyone. But at the same time, we live in a low trust society these days, and therefore DNA testing should be mandatory either at birth or as soon as there's any sort of court dispute involving the parenting of a child. A parent that knowingly lies about the mother or father of a child I liken to an everyday scammer or a fraudster. Someone that sounds like this.
Thank you for calling IRS. How may I help you?
Some states have had enough of this, including the great state of Tennessee. In Senate Bill number 331, which was signed into law on April 6th, 2023, by the Governor Bill Lee, the law now makes it a criminal penalty should a parent knowingly lie about a child in terms of purporting a father or mother to be the parent when they knowingly are perpetrating a lie. Unfortunately, many YouTube users wrongly proclaimed that the HB 2698 was the bill that was passed in Tennessee recently, making paternity fraud illegal. That was actually not the case. That bill actually didn't make it through the legislative session in 2022. But in 2023, Senate Bill number 331 was passed. This new section amended Title 39, Chapter 14, Part 1 by adding the following sections. Starting from the top, whereas a parent has a fundamental right to be involved in the lives of the parent's children, and whereas a child should know the identity of the child's parents for many reasons, including but not limited to allowing the child to learn about the family's medical history and benefiting from inheritance laws. Now therefore, this is where the criminal part comes in. Tennessee Code annotated. A person commits parentage fraud who, 1, seeks to legally establish another individual as the biological parent of a child in the person's custody with the intent to deprive the individual of property or to prevent the children's actual biological parent from exercising parental rights to the child, and the person knows or reasonably should know that the individual is not the child's biological parent, or seeks to be legally established as the child's parent based on the person's status as a biological parent of the child, and the person knows or reasonably should know that the person is not the child's biological parent. And that's a pretty good definition there of paternity fraud. But the part that only makes this have some bite to it, parentage fraud is a Class B misdemeanor. Okay, this ought to be a felony. Fraud in general is a felony. For example, in the state that I live in, a person convicted of the offense of insurance fraud involving a benefit or benefits in a value exceeding $1,500 shall be fined an amount not to exceed $50,000 or be imprisoned in a state prison for a term not to exceed 10 years or both. That's a felony. So if I gain a benefit off of an insurance company of $1,500 and I do it fraudulently, I can be put in prison for years and fined up to $50,000. How is that any different if a gal or parent says someone is the father or mother of a child, and indeed they're not the father, and I know or reasonably should have known, and don't forget this is court now and criminal, so therefore we have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. But if somebody can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a mom knew or should have known reasonably that a father is not the actual father, and she gains a material benefit exceeding $1,500, how is that not a felony? And how should that not be a felony everywhere? This should be a felony everywhere in the entire United States, as far as I'm concerned. If someone can criminally show, beyond a reasonable doubt, that a parent lied like that, it should be a felony. It's fraud. Lying about someone's child is utterly devastating. It not only devastates the parent that's been lied to, but it's far more egregious than insurance fraud. In fact, the reason that insurance fraud is a felony is likely due to lobbyists from the insurance companies. It makes absolutely no sense. Paternity fraud likely ruins lives far more on a fundamental level than insurance fraud does. So in summation, guys, that bill in Tennessee gives me hope. Hopefully more states will follow suit with exactly what Tennessee has done. This should be criminal. Again, in a court of law with criminal stuff, you must prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So if there's even a doubt that this was an accident, then they can't be criminally charged. But if you can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that someone is committing paternity fraud, it should be a felony. And this should be illegal everywhere across the board. We must work on pressuring our representatives in every state to enact laws that punish this offense.
Thank you for calling IRS. How may I help you?
With that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next one.